Q4461. While on an IFR flight, a pilot has an emergency which causes a deviation from an ATC clearance. What action must be taken? A. Notify ATC of the deviation as soon as possible. B. Squawk 77A0 for the duration of the emergency. C. Submit a detailed report to the chief of the ATC facility within 48 hours. The correct answer is A. When a pilot experiences an emergency that necessitates a deviation from an ATC clearance while on an IFR flight, the pilot's immediate priority is to handle the emergency and ensure the safety of the flight. However, it is important to promptly inform ATC of the deviation as soon as possible. This allows ATC to be aware of the situation, adjust traffic separation if necessary, and provide appropriate assistance or support to the aircraft in distress. Squawking 7700 is the transponder code used to indicate an emergency, but it is not the required action in this situation. Submitting a detailed report to the chief of the ATC facility within 48 hours may be necessary, depending on the circumstances, but it is not the immediate action that must be taken during the emergency. The pilot's first responsibility is to communicate with ATC and inform them of the deviation caused by the emergency. 4758. If you are performing AVF or practice instrument approach and radar approach, control assigns an altitude or heading that will cause you to enter the clouds, what action should you take? A. Continue as directed. B. Advise unable and remain clear of clouds. C. Deviate as needed, then rejoin the approach. The correct answer is B. If you are performing AVF or visual flight rules, practice instrument approach and radar approach, control assigns you an altitude or heading that would cause you to enter the clouds, you should advise unable to the controller. It is important to prioritize safety and comply with VF or regulations, which require pilots to maintain visual reference to the ground and remain clear of clouds. By advising unable, you inform the controller that you cannot comply with the assigned altitude or heading due to the risk of entering the clouds. It is the responsibility of the pilot to ensure compliance with VF or rules and maintain visual separation from clouds and other aircraft. Deviation from the assigned altitude or heading may be necessary to remain clear of clouds, but it is important to communicate your inability to comply and coordinate with ATC for an alternative course of action, such as rejoining the approach or receiving further instructions. 4758-1. You have been issued a clearance void time for an IF or departure at a non-towered airport, but are not yet airborne within the prescribed time. You must notify ATC of your failure to depart. A. As soon as possible. B. Within 30 minutes. C. Within 60 minutes. The correct answer is A. If you have been issued a clearance void time for an IF or departure at a non-towered airport, but are not yet airborne within the prescribed time, it is important to notify ATC of your failure to depart as soon as possible. This allows ATC to maintain accurate situational awareness and make necessary adjustments to their traffic management. By notifying ATC promptly, they can assist you with rescheduling your departure or provide alternative instructions. It is crucial to maintain good communication with ATC to ensure the safety and efficiency of the airspace system. 4395. What response is expected when ATC issues an IF or clearance to pilots of airborne aircraft? A. Read back the entire clearance as required by regulation. B. Read back those parts containing altitude assignments or vectors and any part requiring verification. C. Readback should be unsolicited and spontaneous to confirm that the pilot understands all instructions. The correct answer is B. When ATC issues an IF or clearance to pilots of airborne aircraft, they expect the pilots to read back those parts of the clearance that contain altitude assignments or vectors and any other part that requires verification. This ensures that the pilot has correctly understood and acknowledged the instructions given by ATC. The readback serves as a verification and confirmation of the instructions received, particularly for critical elements such as assigned altitudes and headings. By reading back these specific parts, the pilot helps to minimize the risk of miscommunication and ensures a common understanding between the pilot and ATC. 4396. Which clearance items are always given in an abbreviated IF are departure clearance? Assume radar environment. A. Altitude, destination airport, and one or more fixes which identify the initial route of flight. B. Destination airport, altitude, and DP name, number, and/or transition, if appropriate. C. Clearance limit, and DP name, number, and/or transition, if appropriate. The correct answer is B. In an abbreviated IF are instrument flight rules, departure clearance. When operating in a radar environment, the following clearance items are typically given. Destination airport, the airport to which the aircraft is cleared to fly. Altitude, the assigned altitude or initial climb instruction for the aircraft. DP name, number, and/or transition, the specific departure procedure to be followed, including its name, number, and/or any transition instructions if applicable. These essential elements provide the necessary information for the pilot to depart from the airport and establish the initial route of flight. The other options, A and C, do not accurately represent the typical items included in an abbreviated IF or departure clearance.